Taurus, hey, how you doing? Celtic cross time. Hope you're ready. We're actually going to start off with an oracle card today to set the scene, set the tone. Kind of give an indication of the overall energy. Then I'm going to go in with my Rider-Waite. Rider-Waite? Wow, it's a spin on Rider-Waite. It's like Rider-Waite but more orange. Essentially that's what it is. Radiant Wise Spirit it's called. Solid deck. We're going to go in with this to pull each position in the Celtic cross. That's going to give us a kind of surface level reading, which will probably take about 20 minutes. So if you just want something quick, watch that. However, after that, because I'm nosy, we will dig with my various other decks, clarifying, asking the right questions, hopefully. I'll do my best. Yeah, that's how it's going to work, just to give you the heads up. But let's get you that oracle card. There we have it. Mural. How curious. I feel like this card feels really unfamiliar to me, but I've used this deck loads. 25. Mural. Be your own first priority. There's a lot about self-expression here, Taurus. I like that for you. I'll just see that, you know, these oracle cards are very, very good for the universe directly winking at you, you know, so some of the symbolism on this may resonate with you directly, which is why I'd like for you to see it for a little while. I'll put it there anyway. Be your own first priority. I mean, that message is pretty straightforward, Taurus, isn't it? Concentrating on yourself, but particularly, okay, first of all, your home space is important to you at the moment, because I can see she's in her own home and she's creating comfort around her. It feels quite Queen of Pentacles. But secondly, self-expression. It doesn't have to be painting. I mean, she's drawing, painting, you know, onto a wall in her home. Yeah, interesting choice of painting. It's a castle. It appears to be on fire, so that's interesting. Is it meant to look like it's on fire? I don't know. Self-expression doesn't have to be through painting. Obviously, you're all going to have your own ways of that, but it's about that being part of your everyday life. Right, let's get some cards to the Celtic cross. Just so you know, this is a general reading. I'm not pulling on any particular area of life. It is for you to take the energies that I speak of, apply them to your life in the way that you see fit, apply them to whatever situation in your life makes sense for you to apply them to. It could be different for all of you if particular themes come through, I will say that. Also, generally my readings do tend to, if I don't set an intention, come through as love readings. I think that's because the energy I'm picking up on is obviously the energy of the collective, and that's what most of the collective want to hear about. But yeah, so just so you're aware. But I do keep it general and try to give explanations of the energies if that's not your situation. Okay, I try to apply it to different situations as well, because I know not everyone wants that. Right. It's a collective reading. That's the other thing I need to just remind you of. Not every single thing will necessarily resonate with you. Pulling on collective energy is a trip. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Be aware of your own reactions to what I'm saying. I truly do believe that is where the magic lies. When you're watching YouTube readings, when you're watching collective readings of any kind. Okay. Let's see what's at the heart of the matter anyway, Taurus. What's at the heart of the matter for Taurus, please? That's going to be too many cards. I don't want that. What's at the heart of the matter for Taurus, please? That Taurian collective energy. What is at the heart of the matter? Thank you. Judgment. Whew. What an opener. Right. Okay. I believe this is you really trying to carve out your own path, define your own path, work out what direction you want to go in life. You know, this can be a card of what is your calling, okay? What is your purpose? Whose drumbeat are you marching to? Your own, hopefully. But you just got to find that inner drumbeat so that you can march to it. Let's say it like that. Let's see what's in the challenge position for you. What's crossing judgment for Taurus? That came out quickly. Oh gosh. Virgo had this in the challenge position. Yeah. Your own habits, your own patterns of behaviour are getting in the way of you answering your calling. What's above the matter for Taurus, please? What's above the matter? Knight of Pentacles. I think not a bad energy to be bringing to the table here, Taurus. Well done. You know, I am often very down on the Knight of Pentacles, even as an earth sign. I am quite down on the Knight of Pentacles because he can be a little bit dull. But you've got judgment in the centre of your reading. The devil is crossing that. Knight of Pentacles energy is a pretty good antidote to the devil, actually. Because the devil sometimes has a little bit too much fun. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is here to straighten you out. And that's in your headspace. I don't know to what extent it's translating into action. But you are definitely aware that you need to act consistently. You need to act diligently. All right? That's the energy that the Knight of Pentacles brings to the table. I mean, if there was any energy in the deck that said to me, fostering good habits, it would be the Knight of Pentacles. And we've just spoke about your challenge being kind of bad habits, but patterns of behaviour that don't serve you. So I like this for you, Taurus. Let's see what's below. What's below for Taurus? Thank you. A reverse Nine of Pentacles. There's something here in your subconscious that's preventing a full commitment to yourself, I'm going to say, Taurus. And in turn, therefore, to your calling. That'll be interesting to get under. You know, the stuff that's negative that comes out in a reading is the stuff that's interesting to get under, because that's the stuff that's going to help you most. The negative stuff tells you of the barriers that exist to getting what you want. If I just sat here and spun everything as being good, like, you know, I don't think it'd serve you. It wouldn't be real. So yeah, I'm here for what's real. No bullshit. Recent past then for Taurus. Recent past for Taurus. It's going to be too many cards. I just want the one card. Recent past for Taurus, please. Recent past for Taurus. The Chariot. You are throwing the mages at me. Recent past. I feel in the recent past here, this Chariot, or moreover you, sat in that Chariot, have made a decision as to which direction you are going in. See, a lot of people read the Chariot as movement. I very, very often don't see it that way, and this is one of those times. It's also a card of decision and of choice. I believe a choice has been made in the past. As to what your calling is, almost. I don't think that Chariot's moving. In that past energy, I don't think that Chariot's moving. It may be in your current energy just about to get moving, that Chariot. It may be. Slowly. Knight of Pentacles does not do anything quickly. And there's something down here that is holding you back with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. But recent past, definitely contemplation of a decision, definitely contemplation of which direction to go towards. I feel that has at least been somewhat resolved in terms of choosing that direction. But there seems to be a lack of commitment and conviction, I would say, in your current energies, the way it feels to me. Let's look at your near future. Let's look at your near future. Let's look at your near future. Yes, thank you. The moon. Wow, more majors. You may be dealing with a Pisces in your near future. We've also got Capricorn and Cancer energy out. Of course, it is Pisces season at the moment. Something significant may happen to you around the next full moon. I'm going to pause the video while I check what sign the next full moon is in. Yeah, it's in Virgo, obviously, because it's the opposite of Pisces and it's Pisces season. So that particular full moon is about balancing spirituality and practicality, being of service. That's interesting. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, this Judgment card is about being of service. I believe your calling, what you perceive to be your calling in life, does involve acts of service towards others. Very Virgo. But yeah, there was a reason I was prompted to look at that book, and that, of course, is why, because that's a theme that often comes up with Judgment. But specifically that, did I remember to check the date of it for you? No, I did not. Specifically that next full moon, I think could really work for you in terms of clearing out. You know, to me, new moons are about manifestation. Full moons are about letting go, clearing out, clearing the way for your manifestation. It's on the 7th of March in the UK. The 7th of March may be important to you. But work with that full moon energy in your near future. I want to say to you, to clear out the blockages that are preventing you from moving forward towards your calling, because I can see, we'll get onto that, and that'll tell us. And the moon is a card of kind of denial and fear as well. So when we get onto that, we'll explore it in a slightly different way to how I just have. Yeah, let's look at your strengths, the strengths that Taurus is bringing to the table. Taurus's strengths, please, in this context. There we go. Reverse Knight of Wands. Kind of contradictory to the you know, you've got the fastest night and the slowest night out. Slowest night and the fastest night out. That's always interesting. Yeah, always interesting. You may kind of go from one extreme to the other in terms of taking action towards your goal. You may work in fits and starts towards taking action towards your goal. An energy I'm very familiar with. That's interesting that's come up in your strengths like that, though. There's something in that. There's something in that energy of working in fits and starts that you need to use to your benefit, I think. Because this is in your headspace. It's almost like your head is saying, it's almost like logically you're saying, God, no, I've got to be consistent, I've got to be diligent. I almost think that mindset, which, you know, yes, there's a lot to be said for consistent, diligent, hard work, right? But I almost wonder if that mindset is preventing you taking advantage of bursts of passion, bursts of motivation, that the Knight of Wands brings to the table, the way this Knight of Wands has shown up in your strengths like that. I would also say I don't think you get bored easily with the way that's showing up in your strengths as well. I wonder why. I mean, I can relate to that. I'm like that. But I won't talk about me because it could be very different for you. But there's a certain energy here. There's a certain fire up your arse. I don't know how else to put it. Sorry. That you can harness in your strengths, and the balance between these two energies is very interesting, and I think there's a lot to be gained from looking at balancing those two energies in whatever way makes sense for you. Environment for Taurus, please. Oh, well, I was said at the beginning, my readings have a love bent, and then nothing, this doesn't feel like a love reading at all. We'll get Two of Cups now in your environment, or the lovers. You wait and see. What's in Taurus's environment, please? What's in Taurus's environment, please? Oh, an Ace of Pentacles. Your environment is presenting you with opportunities, I believe, Taurus. And I'm not sure you're exactly seeing them. The way this has come out in reverse. How interesting. Let's look at your hopes and fears. Let's look at your hopes and fears. Hopes and fears for Taurus, please. There we go. Ooh, Three of Wands. I just really wanted to come out, didn't it? This is quite a nice reading. Three of Wands in your hopes and fears. There's a certain confidence, a certain momentum, a certain expansion present in this card. A certain sense of adventure. A certain sense of hope. I mean, it's the hopes and fears. That's funny, isn't it? But I just feel that he's looking out at possibilities and is very hopeful about them. I mean, the Three of Wands also comes up just when we are starting to take action, okay? Which, it's interesting that's come up, because that's what we were talking about over here, like with this Chariot, the decision's been made. I've had this for you before, Taurus. If the energies haven't shifted, I can only translate what I get, but I feel sure I've had a very similar reading. Anyway. Three of Wands is a hope and fear. That's interesting. Planning. Starting to take action. You might be worried your hopes... you might be worried that your calling is a bit pie in the sky. That your plans... are not realistic. You dream big. I feel like you're dreaming big. And then every so often a part of you comes along to say, don't be so ridiculous. Which brings me back to the play-off between these two energies again, actually. Like, it's almost like the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is saying, come on, be realistic. and your Knight of Wands and your kind of your Judgment, and your Three of Wands is like, no, I'm going to change the world. And there's a balance and a play-off between all these energies. How interesting. Something like that. Outcome for Taurus, please. Outcome for Taurus. Thank you. A Ten of Pentacles, but in reverse. I mean, a Ten of Pentacles is a lovely card to have in your outcome. It does represent that long-term vision. I was going to say building that empire. You know, I don't think it's an empire that serves just you, though, Taurus. I think it's an empire that is of service. What a funny way to put it. The reversal there is interesting. It suggests to me a certain impatience at achieving what you wish to achieve, in whatever area that may be. I don't know, let's dig. Did I tell you I'm putting charms at the end of this reading? I can't remember if I told you or not. There's going to be charms at the end of this reading. It's an opportunity just for the universe to give you a little extra wink. I love it. Same way that oracle cards can speak to you very directly. I mean, the tarot can speak to you directly as well. But this is more direct, let's say, I think. Right, let's get onto this Judgment card for you, Taurus. Let's get this show on the road. Tell me more about this Judgment card for Taurus, please. Strong energy. Strong energy. This line, you know, with the Celtic cross, we kind of read it, at least this bit, the cross bit of the Celtic cross, we kind of read it in threes. You know, there's like this 3 and there's this 3. Your horizontal 3 is just like, you might be dealing with a Gemini. I am going to get, these are all cards of choice. The Chariot, the Lovers, even the Judgment card in and of itself is to a certain extent a card of choice, because it is that judgment call. Can be. And it's always interesting when you get the Lovers and the Devil in a reading as well. Okay, there's a divine guidance at play here. It could not be any more obvious. You see these angelic figures in both the Judgment and the Lovers card. You could very much feel that your calling is tied up to some sort of partnership, romantic or otherwise. This Lovers card here could simply represent a business partnership. But there could be a person that you're in a romantic union with, and it's like there's a lot of support there for you to each achieve what you want to achieve in life. For those of you that are single, I feel this is just kind of reiterating the fact that you're at a bit of a crossroads. There's kind of choices here to be made. Still, possibly. Or at least confidence in choices already made. But where's the movement? I'm not seeing that much movement, like I say. Anything else for this Judgment card? We have a repeat energy. The moon. This reading contains so many mages, I can't even tell you. I think this time of your life, it just feels hugely significant. Like this. Interesting. I'm not getting that feeling of denial off the moon that I often get. I think the moon is more here to tell you that you are working with whatever you had previously put under a moon, working with certain energies that you had previously buried within yourself. Because, like, I don't know, this is loud. You see, this is loud. You can't ignore this. Yeah. Whatever's under that moon, it's doing this. It's that's what's happened to whatever may have in the past been under a moon. It's like rising up. It's almost like there's nothing you can do about it. You have a choice regarding what you do with that energy. But oh gosh, I wish I could get across to you how these energies feel. But then, you know, they're your energies, so you probably kind of know. Right? This is just confirmation. That didn't really fall, so I'm not going to take it. What else about this Judgment card, please? The Hanged Man. Oh, this is intense. I like, what is with all these major arcana? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. It all feels good, by the way. It's just intense. The Lovers, the Hanged, the Man, the Moon. The Hanged Man. You are gonna win over this devil energy. I just want to put that out there straight off the bat. I don't know what we're going to see underneath that devil energy, but center of your reading, Judgment, clarified by the Lovers, the Moon, the Hanged Man. Like, I'm a bit tongue-tied. And I talk a lot. There's no way this devil energy is going to stand a chance. I mean, look, you've got two angels. You've got two angels. That's going to trump a devil every freaking time, Taurus. The Hanged Man, right? I kept saying not much is happening, didn't I? Not much action has been taken. The Hanged Man is confirming that not much action is being taken at the moment, but the Hanged Man is really going inward, really assessing what your spiritual needs are. The Hanged Man in this context versus that devil, Hanged Man is going to win. I'm sorry I seem to have turned this into a game of top trumps, but this is how I feel. You see, because the devil doesn't want you to admit you've got any spiritual needs. The devil wants you to bypass your spiritual needs. The Hanged Man, especially in this context, this is a strong context. The Hanged Man is all about taking that time out, going inward, finding out what your own spiritual needs are, becoming very aware of them, you know, perhaps bringing them out from under a moon. You know, this moon is, you see, normally as soon as I see a moon I start banging on about denial, and I didn't do it in this case. And the moon is here to just highlight how well you are working with what's underneath it, or what has been underneath it. And I think a lot of what may have been underneath it is your spiritual needs. Because that's where this fight is. The devil's saying, come here, I can meet your material needs, that's all that matters. The Hanged Man is saying no. Taurus, you have spiritual needs, you need to stop denying them. And you're in a pause at the moment whereby I think you're doing that. But I do think you definitely have some idea what direction you want to go. We've got 3 cards of choice out. And I do believe to a certain extent choices have been made, but they've been made mentally. And we're just waiting for the action to kick in. So it would be good if we could kind of perhaps see what we can do to get this turning into action. However, whenever I see a hanged man, which is that pause, I'm always very reluctant to sort of try and force anybody out of that hanged man energy, try to ask questions saying, well, how can we get out of this hanged man energy and turn into action? Because it just sort of happens in its own sweet time in a way, and it's very divinely guided, and we've seen that already in your reading, that sense of divine guidance. So yeah, but there are certain blocks to it which we can examine, but it doesn't feel like it's necessary to particularly rush. I think that full moon that's coming up is going to serve you well. I think that's going to clear a lot of debris. Let's get onto this devil for you. The Lover's card is interesting. I'm not getting massive kind of romantic relationship vibes off it, apart from I think some of you are in a very supportive union that's provided you with a strong foundation for which you can examine what's under your moon and the other person too. We've got two moons show up. That does sometimes tell me that two people are in that energy, yeah? So both of you may be looking at your calling, looking at the barriers to it, looking at your spiritual needs in a way that might previously have been denied. But I just, it feels really supportive, that Lover's card. And the Lovers doesn't let you get away with ignoring your spiritual needs. That's half the point of Lovers connections as well. It's for two people to help each other in the recognition of their spiritual needs, because it's a very spiritual connection. What's underneath this devil, please, for Taurus? What's underneath this devil for Taurus? Tell me about this devil for Taurus. Alright, let's see what else we get. I mean, this is a time of change for you. I mean, Judgment is such an energy of resurrection anyway, and then this specific death card in this specific deck talks about rebirth. And it is all about clearing the way. The death card is all about clearing the way. Clearing away the dead wood, which we've already spoke about. You couldn't make it up. You may have a tendency to get into certain patterns of behaviour where you can sort of see that the way needs clearing, and you can sort of see some of the obstacles, but you sort of put your knowledge of that under a moon. That may be something that you have a tendency to deny and put under a moon, and then what? And then what energy do you bring to the table to deal with that? I'm just looking at these again. It's like, how do you burn? Do you just like burn all that dead wood away in a day and then be absolutely knackered and exhausted and, I don't know, possibly not then take further action before the dead wood starts piling up again? Or do you take a consistent, diligent approach to that dead wood? I don't know. Anything else on this devil for Taurus? Nine of Pentacles reverse, which we've already seen in your subconscious. Oops, I've swapped those cards around. It feels a little bit like a lack of commitment and conviction. I don't know. This is why I keep flip-flopping with this idea of a choice being made. It does feel like a choice has been made to a certain extent, but there's no action. It's like, so with what conviction has this choice been made? I don't know. There's some sort of lack of conviction. but it's connected to this Nine of Pentacles. Which has the air of avoidance about it. You want to avoid that dead wood. You want to avoid looking at that dead wood until you do, and then you're like, bam, it's all gone. Oh shit, but I'm knackered, I need a rest. And then you wake up and the dead wood's all back because you burnt yourself out getting rid of it. Ten of Swords. There's some sort of pain here connected to an ending, connected to... I think the pain's connected to that process of clearing that dead wood. But there's also an... There's also an ending. I think things stay with you for quite a long time, Taurus. Ten of Swords underneath a Devil. Linger, linger. It's like you let things linger. Stuff from the past, it lingers in your energy. There's a difficulty here making a clean break often, and this debris that we are talking about metaphorically that needs clearing. We've got two cards of an ending here. That debris that needs clearing, it comes from lingering emotions around ending something, trying to end something. You may be in the process of ending something, but they're just not quite letting it go in a way that allows you to commit to being of service in the way that you want to. Yeah. And it's pain, it's emotional pain. That's this Nine of Pentacles is avoidance in reverse. And that's what you're trying to avoid. That's what you're trying to avoid. And then the Knight of Wands comes along and is like, no, let's pull the sticking plaster off. But then pulling the sticking plaster off has taken such a build-up of energy that sort of afterwards you're left a bit flat or something like that. Let's look at this Knight of Pentacles up here for you in your headspace. What's above the matter? Knight of Pentacles for Taurus. Yes. It's the... This is the pain of, the emotional pain of what you've left behind. You see, I kept talking about debris. I mean, we've got 8 broken cups here. If you move forward without clearing them out your way, you're going to get cuts on your feet. And yet clearing those cups up is very painful. Cups represent emotions. When they're all broken and jagged like it in this card, you don't really need me to exactly tell you that these emotions are painful and confusing. And then somehow, sometimes, I've got 2 mountains in both these cards. Well, it can feel like a very big mountain to climb to deal with these emotions, but also you end up convincing yourself to take a different direction, one that's easier. Which isn't your true calling, I don't believe. I think your true calling involves you having to clear up this emotional debris, but because that's so painful, you then become confused and you're like, well, maybe I can just bypass that emotional debris. Maybe I can just go in a different direction instead because it's easier. this is a card of choices and confusion. Maybe I'll just make a different choice, because if I go in that direction, I have to deal with emotional debris from the past, and I kind of want to avoid that. In my subconscious, I want to avoid that, even though logically I want to take consistent, diligent action towards my judgment card, my calling, my purpose, my service of other people. In reality, it's hard to actually take that consistent, diligent action, because there's a whole load of broken fucking glass on the floor. Anything else this Knight of Pentacles? Yeah. And then you feel stuck. This is the most hopeful Eight of Swords cards in existence, though, to me, because look at all the potential we've got here. Look at all the potential. But there's a fear of opening those wings, spreading those wings is going to cause damage. It's the same way that moving forward on this path is going to cut your feet. The broken cups need to be removed in the same way that these swords need to be removed for this butterfly to open. And these swords in this situation represent your own thoughts. Well, you know what? And the thoughts that are being represented here are kind of thoughts of catastrophization. That's a difficult word to say. You know what? Like, our mind kind of does that to help us plan to a certain extent. And sometimes you do have to think about worst case scenarios to a certain extent in order to plan sensibly. Okay? So it's kind of a question of using these swords effectively rather than removing them altogether. They kind of need blunting a bit. They need blunting a bit, and they just need removing. You just need to stand back from them a bit so that you can still unfurl. The idea of kind of removing these completely, I don't think serves you well, or serves humans well, in a sense, because in a sense they are there for a reason. They can help with a sort of plan B, or they can help with sensible planning. And you know, the Knight of Pentacles likes sensible planning, doesn't he? Because he's dull. Sorry, I have it in for the Knight of Pentacles. It's personal. It's the do your washing up every day card. Let's get underneath this Nine of Pentacles. That's going to be interesting. Like I say, it feels a bit non-committal, a bit like I don't know. Anything else on this Nine of Pentacles, please? It's what I've already said, that it is blocking your way. You see, how many times in this reading have I banged on about dead wood blocking your way? It's just there to confirm what I've already said, really. Yes. Five of Swords is kind of an energy of self-sabotage, isn't it? There's definitely deep blockages here to you moving forward in the way you would like. Logically, I mean, logically you're like, come on, just do the hard work. There's barriers to that because you're human, Taurus. Please don't think I'm sat here having a go at you, you know. There's a reason I wince at that Knight of Pentacles energy myself. It's hard to embrace. For a lot of people it is. I mean, if it isn't for you, then I guess this isn't your reading. Tell me more about this Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. I mean, ooh, baby. Oh my God, I love tarot. Right, we've got a Knight of Wands out again. You see, that's what I said. there's fits and starts here. Your energy's coming in fits and starts here to kind of clear away this blockage. But it's a bit of an act of self-sabotage the way you use this energy, because it's like this guy comes along, fucking chops through all this in like 30 seconds flat, but that is in fact a bit of an energy of self-sabotage, because then he has to go to sleep for 3 days, he wakes up and it's all back. That's the way it's coming through to me. It's the strangest thing, hey? But something like that. Anyway, I've said that several times, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely see. This is why it's hard for you to commit to your path, because there's obstacles keep coming up in the way, and something about the way you deal with those obstacles is quite sabotaging towards yourself. So interesting to have Knight of Wands energy in your subconscious and Knight of Pentacles energy in your conscious. You're fighting with yourself, hey? I get it. I so get it. Because this is so enthusiastic and fiery, but translating it into action is difficult. Oh, Taurus, I wish I could get some answers for you how to deal with it, and I'm not sure I'm doing a very good job of that. Chariot in your past energy. Tell me more about this Chariot. Tell me more about this Chariot for Taurus, please. Ooh, 3 of Wands again. 3 of Wands, 6 of Swords. The choice was made here to leave something behind. The choice was made here to leave something behind with the 6 of Swords, something you don't believe was serving you. Only, I don't think you've quite done it. The way this 10 of Swords is showing up in your current energy, underneath this Devil, just... I think you're nearly there, though. I think you're nearly there. Because you anticipate that there are better things on the horizon. And I think you're correct, by the way. The 3 of Wands has also shown up in your hopes and fears. You know, this is a ship sailing onto calmer waters, and we can see the ship in the distance. Those two energies tied together. There's an anticipation of better things to come. Interestingly, we've got this Queen of Pentacles card out, which is coming through as kind of Virgo energy and is coming through as acts of service. It's reversed. In this past energy, it's like, I think, Taurus, you have this strong desire to be of service to people, to make the world a better place. In this past energy, there was the idea that you weren't achieving that aim. So you made a decision to leave something behind and go towards something that you anticipate to be better. Only you just... 6 of Wands is very transitional energy. You are carrying that transitional energy through to your current. It just feels a bit stuck at the moment. It just feels a bit stuck at the moment. There's a bit of a lack of investment in self with this 9 of Pentacles reversed as well. I think you very much invest in yourself via investing in others, or via being of service to others, I should say more correctly. It's like you think you don't quite have the opportunity that you would like to be of service to others. I'm going to argue with you on that point. I am going to argue with you on that point. Because it's here in your environment. It's in reverse. The reversal to me indicates that it's there, but you're not seeing it. We'll see when we clarify. Oh, it's all very interesting, Taurus. Let's look at this moon energy in your future. Or could I ask a better question though, while we're on this? Because let's just ask how you get this Nine of Pentacles upright. Because, yeah, I'm just going to try it. If we don't get anywhere, we don't get anywhere. But I think that's key to all of this. It's something about balancing these two energies. Maybe that's all that's going to come out. Maybe we're just going to get a Temperance. Because you are a bit stuck. But like I say, to a certain extent, you come out of that Hanged Man energy when you come out of it, when you discover what needs to be discovered about your own spiritual needs. And maybe that you just might have a bit more to discover about your own spiritual needs, actually, and exactly what works for you in terms of meeting those. I don't know. Do we have any advice for Taurus turning this Nine of Pentacles energy upright? It's come out reversed twice, and it would serve you better if it was upright, i.e. if it was less blocked, you know, i.e. if you were being less avoidant of... It's the pain. It's the pain that you're being avoidant of. Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, both very painful energies relating to releasing something from the past, whatever you chose to walk away from. It lingers in your energy. How does Taurus get this Nine of Pentacles upright, please? Ace of Swords reversed. There's something you're not seeing about the situation then. There's some sort of lack of clarity. Some sort of lack of clarity that's bugging the hell out of you. Birds, birds, birds. We were asking about how to get this Nine of Pentacles energy upright. Let me show you both cards upright. They both feature birds. Then we pull an Ace of Swords to answer that question. It did come out in reverse. Also a bird. You don't always see a bird in the Ace of Swords. Often in the Nine of Pentacles, that's a common theme. But unless I'm mistaken, I think it's quite unusual to see a bird in the Ace of Swords like that. Birds always have me in mind of messages and communication. You need to send a clear message to someone. You need to... There might be a little bird in it, hey? There might just be a little bird in the sky that... Sorry, it's bugging the hell out of me. I need to know. No, actually, no. It's unusual. It is unusual, but yeah. So there's a reason I went to that deck. Three birds. That's not irrelevant. That's relevant. There's patterns like that don't happen for no reason. I think you need to send a clear message to someone. I don't know who. Someone from this past situation. I feel like what's going on? Are they still bugging you or something? There's. All I can say is, and take what resonates, leave the rest. If this isn't your message, it's not your message. But I just get the strongest feeling you need to kind of lay down the law with someone. Someone needs to hear a very clear message from you about what your boundaries are, what you will and won't do, what is and what is not acceptable for you. I feel like people are, or a person is bugging you and trying to get your energy directed towards them, and it's like, but you're sailing away, and they're like over here being like, and that's where the lack of clarity lies. I think there's a lack of clarity in your message to that person. Let me know if that resonates. Let's get under this moon in your near future then. Near future for Taurus, please. Page of Wands reversed. See, that's Fool energy to me, but it's blocked again. That new beginning is blocked because of the past. Ah! Sorry. It's blocked because of some Six of Cups. There's someone from your past that is No, I don't think they're actively trying to stop you walking down that path, trying to actively stop you being in that full energy, which would be the perfect energy to walk towards your calling. But they are doing... You need to work with this full moon that's coming up. What did I say? March the 7th. Use the energy of that full moon to think about how you can send a clear message to this person, this past energy, this past whatever it is. And, you know, there's fond memories there. There's fond memories there. It's not like they're an arsehole. I'm not here to tell you they're an arsehole. But, like, they seem to be... In a sense, they seem to be a little disrespectful of your time and energy, but also in a sense, Taurus, I have to say I don't think you've spoken to them clearly. Anything else about this moon energy in the near future, please? King of Cups, reverse 3 of Pentacles. This past situation, it's showing up as kind of work or collaboration or something. It's in reverse. I think the dynamics are not great in this collaboration. I don't think anyone's an arsehole or anything, but somehow this collaboration, this joint effort, this teamwork went a bit awry. But the emotional baggage from that, it's showing up in your future energy. It's still, and it's preventing you taking that leap of faith towards this new judgment, this new calling. I mean, you probably did feel like this was your calling, but there's a new calling showing up for you and moving towards it. I mean, this is a good energy to kind of give this message out. You know, you don't have to be an arsehole about it. King of Cups is beautiful. He's quite stoic. It's perfect. He's very aware of his emotions. You know, all that pain we spoke about, that I feel is making it difficult for you to clear this debris, you know, because it feels painful. The King of Cups is like, yes, it's painful. You know, I accept the pain. I can sit with the pain, and sitting with the pain allows you to move through the pain. It means you're less afraid of the pain, so you can do what needs to be done. I just don't... The play off between these two energies is still getting to me, so I think you're going to have to reach your own conclusions about that. I don't think I can give you anything overly firm about that. Is this Ace of Swords... This Ace of Swords... You need to give a clear message to someone. They haven't... I think what you think you've said to them, they have not received. This will help you give that message to them. I think you're a bit scared of being an arsehole. The King of Cups isn't an arsehole. He's not going to be an arsehole about it, you know. And also, he doesn't take too much responsibility for other people's emotions either, because he knows that other people's emotions are other people's emotions. Because he takes responsibility for his own emotions, he expects other people to take responsibility for their emotions. So if this message, this clear message you need to give to someone, may result in pain in them, then, you know, the King of Cups... he kind of recognises that those emotions belong to that person, and that you're only acting with integrity by giving this clear message. So the kind of the emotions that are then produced in that other person aren't your responsibility, Taurus, and the King of Cups knows that. So it's a nice energy to see you embracing in the future, and I do see you moving on from this past energy, or how in whatever way that makes sense for you. Right, let's get on to this Knight of Wands then. I will do my best for you. I will do my best for you. Tell me more about this Knight of Wands, please. Oh, you are kidding me. This tricky with all these nights out, because the problem the nights take everything to extreme, and we've got 3 of them out, and I was already kind of struggling with the playoff between these 2 energies. Some of you could work with teenagers, I'm just going to put it out there, or some of you may have teenage children, or I don't know, this could be the energy of literal teenagers that for whatever reason they're showing up in your energy a lot. Anything else about this Knight of Wands, please, for Taurus? Oh, yes! Yes, 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 yes! You absolutely have the strength to produce the clarity that is needed. And for a lot of you, that does link back to what we were already saying about this other Ace of Swords and how someone needs to be given a clear message. The Knight of Wands energy is what's going to help you give this clear message. It's kind of just do the thing. Do the thing. It is a bit of a sticking plaster, actually. Pull the sticking plaster off. And I think also kind of attached to this Ace of Wands giving this clear message is this Knight of Cups energy. The Knight of Cups is, comfortable with that flow of emotion, not afraid to make himself vulnerable. Sending this clear message to someone may involve you feeling vulnerable, and in your strengths you're telling me, I can deal with that. Good for you, Taurus. Tell me more about this Knight of Wands, please. Tell me more about this Knight of Wands in Taurus's strengths. No, that's too many cards. Tell me more about this Knight of Cups in Taurus's strength. 4 of Wands reverse. It's severing some sort of relationship, romantic or otherwise. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel romantic for most of you, but hey, could be. It's sending out a clear message. It's sending out a clear message that you want to end this relationship, whatever this relationship is. 4 of Wands is structure. There's some structure that you don't want to be a part of anymore. But over here, I don't believe you've sent out a clear message that you don't want to be part of it. In your strengths, Spirit's saying you have the strength, you have the capability of sending out that clear message. And we already know that clear message is very necessary because we've talked about it, we've seen it. Okay, I really like that in your strengths. Whatever way you spin it, I translate the energies the way I translate it. Whatever way you spin it, if clarity is needed, you are absolutely capable of getting that clarity or giving that clarity or whatever. All underneath the reverse Knight of Wands, which is a bit of an energy of just doing the thing. It's an interesting energy to kind of have all of that under, I will say. It is. The Knight of Wands reverse can be a bit of a player or a bit of a trickster, so it may be the particular relationship that needs severing here. That's a severe word, but for some of you, this may be the energy that you are trying to cut off from, that I don't believe you've given a clear message to, which I believe Spirit's telling you to give a clear message to, which I believe you are capable of giving a clear message to. This may be the energy that you are severing from. Someone who is a bit in and out, a bit hot and cold. And part of what is your strengths here may be showing that energy the door, but also showing that energy the door, showing any of that energy that shows up in yourself the door as well. Any hot and cold energy you're in when you're trying to move towards your calling, you may be kind of cutting that out here in your strengths as well, to a certain extent. But you do still need some of that fire and that creativity that the Knight of Wands brings, I believe. So I guess it's more about working with this energy upright, turning this energy upright. Let's just ask that quickly. How can you turn that energy upright for yourself? How can Taurus turn that Knight of Wands energy upright for themselves, you know, so that it's less scattered, more focused, more directed? Four of Swords. Rest. There's something about rest here. I think it burns you out often. This hot and cold, it burns you out. Yeah, you see, we've already said loads about rest in relation to this Knight of Wands, you know. He just has this burst of energy, clears the debris, and then falls to sleep for 3 days, wakes up, all the debris grown back. He's obviously not effectively clearing it. He's not effectively getting to the root of the matter. That's it. That Knight of the Wands is not getting to the root of the matter. This growth, this debris, it keeps growing back. Whereas the Knight of Pentacles will very carefully seek out the roots, find the roots, kill whatever's getting in the way of this at the roots. But you can still bring the enthusiasm of the Knight of Wands to the table, but you've got to balance it with actually getting to the root of shit. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Phew. Okay, tell me about Taurus's environment, please, because I think there's opportunities galore in your environment, or at least one significant opportunity, but you're not seeing it. Two of Cups, Two of Cups, Two of Cups. A new partnership, perhaps. The opportunity for a new partnership. If you are single, yes, absolutely. There's the opportunity for a new, beautiful, beautiful, balanced, loving partnership. Pure. This is pure. This is pure love. It's gorgeous. For those of you for whom this kind of isn't really a love reading, and it feels for most of you it's not, there's definitely new opportunities to kind of balance with someone new, someone who can reciprocate your energy in a way that I don't think was being over here, because someone was being hot and cold with you. I think for a lot of you this isn't hot and cold. This is lovely, especially when it's underpinned by an Ace of Pentacles, because an Ace of Pentacles is solid. I believe the only reason it's in reverse is because you're not recognizing it for what it is. So right, like I say, singles, yes, new love in your environment. It's showing up in your environment. You are not aware of this at the moment, I don't believe, or you are not seeing it in some way. But for those of you who yeah, I've already said this, haven't I? Your calling may very well be tied into a love relationship for some of you, and that's kind of backing that up now. But somehow you're not seeing that. So for some of you, it is very much you working together. For some of you, it is supporting each other. That's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah. Don't take that for granted, though. I think there's just a message here from Spirit to say don't take that romantic union for granted, because it's solid and it's a really good springboard for opportunity. And I don't know, tell me more about this Ace of Pentacles for Taurus, please. Queen of Cups. Yeah, someone's very loving here. There's someone very loving in your energy, someone who can hold space for you, hold space for your difficult emotions, offer you empathy, offer you emotional support. Anything else for this Ace of Pentacles? Offer you emotional support when you're in this difficult energy up here. This energy of confusion, this energy of kind of wanting to bypass what you know to be your true path, because dealing with the emotional debris that's in the way of your true path is painful to you. In a sense, they hold space for that pain, I believe. And it's reciprocal. It's reciprocal. You hold space for their pain as well. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They can help you by holding space for that pain. I believe they can help you navigate choices, and I believe you do the same for them. It's lovely. Okay, let's look at your hopes and fears. 3 of Wands. Hopes and fears for Taurus. Okay. Fear of loss. Yep, makes sense, right? Fear of regret. Regret over what? Fear of regret over missing these opportunities that I've already told you are in your environment. That's the Ace of Pentacles out twice. These opportunities are in your environment. Don't see, she ain't seen any of these opportunities, is she? She's got her head in her hands. You're afraid of missing opportunities. You're afraid of missing opportunities. Okay, so how can Taurus notice opportunities? I'm going to ask that for you. How can Taurus notice opportunities? How can Taurus notice opportunities? We've got a Fool reversed and a 7 of Wands. Okay, so you know that I said you've got to give this clear message to someone. Partly through doing that, that will give you the space to recognise opportunities, because 7 of Wands has come out, which is all about boundaries. When you are giving this clear message to someone, you are being very clear about what you will and won't accept. It's 7 of Wands energy, it's boundaries. I truly believe that will help create the space in you that other opportunities then will not pass you by, because you'll just be in that better space where you're able to receive opportunities, because you're not going to be so bogged down with worrying about what this other person wants of you, because you've already made it very clear what you're willing to give to this situation, which, by the way, I think sounds like it should be virtually 0, but you need to get clear with yourself on that, because it's blocking a new beginning for you, because the Fool's come out in reverse. So a lack of boundaries is basically blocking your Fool energy, which is the energy of excitement towards something new, taking those first steps down the path towards something new, towards this Judgment card that's right in the middle of your reading. And do you know what? I'm just going to take it back to the first Oracle card out. Be your own first priority. I think it feels quite unnatural to you to send this message that I'm bugging you to send, because it feels selfish or something like that. Selfish is an interesting word, isn't it? Who else is going to be you-ish, hey? You've got to be you-ish. No one else is going to be you-ish. No one else is going to be Taurus-ish. You've got to put yourself first before this, whatever on earth this is. That's going to open you up. Because this is not the opportunity that you want, is it? It's not, is it, Taurus? It isn't. I know it isn't, right? But while you are bogged down dealing with that, I don't think you want to be. While you're bogged down dealing with that, the universe ain't going to give you what you want. You know, this is kind of... This hand is like the universe being like, here you are, Taurus. But it's almost like you're not open to receive that new opportunity, because the universe works with your energies, and if your energies have not been clear about this ending, you got to draw. I'm not a strong giver of advice, but the universe is like, you've got to draw a line under it. Spirit's like, you've got to draw a line under it, because new things can't come into you while your energy's going in that direction, because the universe is just like, oh, well, Taurus is happy putting their energy in that direction. You've got to make space for something new to come in, and I don't believe that space is quite there yet, but I think you're nearly there. Okay, 10 of Pentacles in reverse for Taurus, please. Outcome. Yes. I mean, that's the 7 of Wands again, isn't it? Standing up for your needs, boundaries. Love it. Next to the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. It's the 3rd time we've had that card in reverse every single time. There's a void. There's avoidance. There's avoidance showing up in your outcome still. But I always say about these future positions, they are mouldable. We've talked about how to mould this energy already, so I'm not going to go over it again. But there's a strong message that you need to stand up for yourself, even if it's divisive. If you may be worried that you standing up for yourself is divisive in some way, it's going to cause division. You see the way we've got these 3 wands on this side, 3 wands on this side, and you're like, I don't know, I think that divisiveness feels uncomfortable to you, but are you acting with integrity? I believe here you are acting with integrity. So if these pile of sticks stops talking to that pile of sticks, that's not on you, my loves. That's not on you. I will say, though, that even though this is in reverse, the symmetry of this card, the reversal is less severe. So in your outcome, yeah, sure, you can, you can turn this all around, definitely. But I think the reason it's come up in your outcome as well is because it's very easy to dip back into this energy. You can kind of get this energy upright and be less avoidant, be more, I don't know, acting with more conviction, but it's easy to slip back into, that avoidance. And also there's something about comfort zone here, isn't there? It's very safe and comfortable, this particular 9 of Pentacles, and it's easier to just retreat back into that safety. And there's a certain independence in that energy as well, where you can cut off. And I just think you're being asked to consider to what extent you might be cutting off from this 2 of Cups energy that we spoke about, which feels like a really loving support in your life, and yeah, asking you to kind of not be avoidant when it comes to that particular energy. Anything else about this 10 of Pentacles in reverse for Taurus? Thank you. Okay, that's beautiful. Last card of your reading, the Fool upright. Exactly, just a beautiful energy. This is nice, and it's next to a 7 of Wands. I mean, I just love when you use multiple decks, the shit that happens, right? A reverse Fool and a 7 of Wands, and then we go to a 7 of Wands in your outcome with an upright Fool. So, like I say, standing up for your boundaries is going to turn that Fool upright. It's exactly what I said. Let me just sneak at the bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. Nice. Right, let's get you some charms. I hope that all made sense for you. Let's get you some little winks from the universe to end on. That's just going to help you feel inspired. And like the universe is on your side, because the universe is on your side. There we go. Right. Oh my gosh, you are the first sign to not have a snowflake. I'm kind of overjoyed for you. We've got a lot of blue and pink. Okay, first of all, letters, L. It's the only letter that's come out. Let's leave it at that. It's an L. Your name may begin with L. Your surname may begin with L. Someone important to you in all of this. Their name, that one of their initials may be L. Apply that L initial as you see fit. Let me just get you some more letters. Let me pick these out just so that I can get you some more letters. The letters are hard to pick because they're smaller. Okay, we've also got an H. Oh, we've got a capital H and a little h. Little, that's not the technical way you say it, is it? So LH, HL, that might be an initial that's important to you. It came out twice. An R. Again, your initial, someone else's initial. So we've got L, R, H, HRH. HRH. That's really funny. Yep, you're going to have to take my word for it. They're so tiny, they're so hard for the camera to see. Right, numbers 6. The number 6 may... Oh no, I'm very sorry, it's a 9. That may be of significance to you. Let's look at other little symbols that have come out. Let's look at animals first. Okay, you've got a flamingo. It just reminds me of The Sims. Yeah, that might be of some significance to you. A little whale. Okay. So both of those animals you find in water to one extent or another. So I think that's sort of... And then we've got a watery moon as well. So to me that is telling me... you know, it points back to this King of Cups energy, being comfortable with your emotions, being comfortable with other people's emotions, being comfortable in that kind of watery energy. We have a butterfly, so a little butterfly carrying a pearl of wisdom. So that brings me back to this. This butterfly absolutely can open its wings. A kind of axe, that may be of significance to you somehow. Flowers and leaves. Oh, that's nice. Flowers and leaves. Leaves exist to get energy from the sun. A crown. Oh, look, this just screams. This in combination with the watery animals just screams King and Queen of Cups at me, which we've both got out, so that's lovely. A little cloud. That may be of significance to you. And beautiful charm to finish on. Love, 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 love. Two of Cups. Like, don't take that love for granted, though. I don't know why I keep feeling the need to say that to you. I don't know. Just because this is so beautiful and balanced, and I don't know how rare it is in this world. Sometimes it feels pretty rare, so yeah. Just recognise what you've got there, I think. Okay. Taurus, thank you so much. I really hope that helped. Do the likey, sharey, subscribey thing as you see fit. And I will see you in 2 weeks for another in-depth reading. Look out for an all signs in the meantime. Thank you very much. Bye.